Can you respond to 31 Highest Carrollton Road, 1531 Highest Carrollton Road, off of Willie Walker Road, reference to a cardiac arrest. Speaking further.
Deputy Dispatch, I'm 23.
932, be advised. The complainant's step-fed or just can be on CPR.
Reference to a cardiac arrest. Complainant's advising that the mother and the stepfather are called to the touch. They think they're beyond CPR and doesn't see anything around them that's suspicious. Law enforcement is en route with you.
5 dispatches. 2 people down at the location.
That's 10-4.
I'll be under his phone.
49 display. Just so I'm clear, we got 2 109D, same address.
That's 10-4.
What was the numerics again?
531.
49 dispatches. Anybody else at the residence?
Can you have me wait outside?
You guys have them wait outside.
Yes, ma'am.
10-4.
Location is obviously go ahead and notify the corner.
From the moment that 17-year-old Sarah Grace Patrick called police around 7 a.m. or so on Thursday, February 20th, 2025, to report her mother and stepfather were, quote, cold to the touch, unquote, the suspicions of law enforcement officers kicked into gear. You can hear several officers confirming with the dispatch operator that the 5-bedroom, 1-bathroom home on Tyus Carrollton Road in Carrollton, Georgia, was indeed the scene of 2 deceased people, like they couldn't believe their ears. Carrollton is a mid-sized city, about 45 miles west of Atlanta, near the Alabama state line. It offers a blend of suburban feel with access to amenities and a strong sense of community. However, the peace was shattered when Sarah's 5-year-old sister discovered her parents gone that morning from apparent gunshot wounds. Things got weirder in the wake of the deaths. When Sarah's behavior struck some people as off-putting, Sarah gave a long, tearful speech at her mother's funeral, which investigators believe was a ploy to help cover her tracks. Watch as a tearful Sarah speaks about her 41-year-old mother, Kristen Brock, and her 45-year-old stepfather, James Brock.
I was ready for my brother's Tristan. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Sarah, and I'm Kristen Brock's daughter and James Brock's stepdaughter. This isn't easy. I don't know how Ben and Angie do this all the time, but I'm really happy I get to do this. But just bear with me because I stutter a lot. I just wanted to say goodbye to my mom and Jamie since we never got the chance to. I was so used to you guys always being here to the point that I never once thought to imagine y'all not being here. I didn't have a single clue how much I needed y'all until now. For James, thank you for all the life lessons you taught me and for being the best, honest dad ever. Your heart will finally be healed in heaven and neither of y'all will be in any pain anymore. Although that gives me so much comfort, your fight was not supposed to end there. And for my mother, everything we went through does not define what kind of person or what kind of mother you were. You were a beautiful, kind soul with so much gratitude and so gosh dang strong. And you taught me so many life lessons, and some that you just recently taught me with the letter you sent to James in 2018. When I first read it, I smiled and I cried, and I got chill bumps. But every single time I read it, it puts me to a lot of peace. So I thought I'd share it. May 23rd, 2018, Deuteronomy 6:5. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your strength. The wrong one will find you in peace and leave you in pieces, but the right one will find you in pieces and leave you in peace. We can't always choose the music that life plays for us, but you can choose how we dance to it. She was always dancing to her own beat, LOL. And keep in mind, she wrote that herself. Eventually, all the pieces fall into place, but until then, laugh at the confusion, live for the moment, and know that everything happens for a reason. I can choose to let it define me, confine me, refine me, outshine me, or I can choose to move on and leave it behind me. Always, Kristen Brock. Considering that gave me so much closure, I want to remember them for who they were and not what happened to them, and be happy for the time we got to spend together and not sad about the time that we don't. I may always and will always be her sunshine, but she will always be my star from up above. And I know at nighttime I can go and look at Mama and Jamie in the sky, and gladly they will save me a seat in heaven like they saved for me. Gladly they will save a seat for me in heaven like they saved a seat for me in this very church. Although there's nothing we can do to bring them back, we still have control over how we treat people with us today. Therefore, when someone tries to tell you anything, no matter how important it could be, just listen, because you never know when it's somebody's time to go. You could say goodnight and wake up a few hours just to find out they aren't there to spread their joy and their love. So just listen and never take a hug or anyone or anything for granted, and love with all that you have in you like they did. And lastly, my take on not taking people for granted. I want to thank my family, also known as my Cata fam, my grandparents, my siblings, Jamie, Donnie, Jaden, Jojo, Trent, Tristan, Ashley, and Jesse for helping me get through my worst nightmare. And last but not least, I want to thank Tasha, Bree, Nate, Lane, Kimberly Hayes, Kim Bowling, Katie, and most of all, my father, Angie, and Ben for making such a big difference. Jamie and Mama would have thanked y'all too. I love you guys, and so do I. And so do they. I'm sorry.
In the meantime, in the months after the tragedy, Sarah took to TikTok to express her grief. But those videos raised more suspicions.
He doesn't know it, but a year from now our family will be torn apart, and I will move far away and won't see or talk to him for 5 years. And his
Day to you. Yay! Snowing. And just keep snowing. It's wet! Birthday to you. Yay! Snowing. And just keep snowing. It's wet!
Her account, at @Grace04282, has since been removed from TikTok, but thanks to these TikTokers for saving deleted videos. In another strange twist, true crime TikToker @Allegedly reportedly says Sarah reached out to her about covering the Brock murders.
Why would you ask me to cover a case where you are going to get arrested for taking your parents' lives? Y'all, this is Sarah Grace, and she messaged me back on June 3rd and just said, search up Brock case. So I said, Brock Turner? Brock who? She said, Kristen and James Brock. Hold on. They're my parents, and out of nowhere, a random Thursday night in February, someone came in my house with me and my 5-year-old sister, and my parents left them for me and my little sister to wake up to. Technically, it was a Wednesday night because I found them Thursday morning, and I said, not knowing she was going to wind up arrested for this, I am so sorry. I cannot imagine. I will absolutely research and cover their case. Please take care of you always. Again, not knowing, and I covered it. 17-year-old daughter arrested for parents in Carroll County. On Tuesday afternoon, Carroll County Sheriff's Office announced that they have arrested 17-year-old Sarah Grace Patrick. She is facing 2 murder charges and 2 aggravated assault charges. The girl that asked me to cover the case has been arrested. As you can see here, James Brock was 45 and his wife, Kristen, was 41. Rest in peace to them. They were both found no longer alive on the morning of February 20th. Much more information is going to come out. I will be making another video about this. I just wanted to get this out. I am in absolute shock because, again, the question I asked at the beginning of this video, why would you message me or any other true crime creator saying, hey, please cover this case, and then you wind up being arrested for it? I am in shock. Now, of course, this is just an arrest. This is not a conviction, so everything's alleged as of now, but please let me know what you think about the psychology behind this.
On July 8th, 2025, the Carroll County Sheriff's Office went live on Facebook to announce Sarah's arrest in a press conference describing the double homicide. They announced that additional arrests could be possible and told the public that Sarah's young sister, who discovered the bodies, is now 6 years old. Sarah was arrested in Carroll County on the suspicion that she murdered her mother and stepfather, who were found in their bedroom. They confirmed that Sarah turned herself in and will be charged as an adult with 2 counts of murder and 2 counts of aggravated assault in connection with the deaths.
Thank you all for being here today. My name is Ashley Holsey. I'm the Communications Director for Carroll County. I serve as the Public Information Officer for the Carroll County Sheriff's Office. Before we get started, I would like to introduce the individuals behind me because they will play a role in today's press conference. We have Sergeant Jen Garman. She has been very pivotal throughout this investigation. We're very thankful for her and all of her hard work. We have lead investigator TJ Repetto, who has also been on the ground, boots on the ground pretty much throughout this whole investigation. We have Sergeant Kim Hope, who's over our Crimes Against Persons unit, who has led a phenomenal investigation and really brought everything together. And then, of course, Lieutenant Jackson Lawrence, who also has kind of been a pivotal part of this investigation as well, making sure that everything's arranged and everything is flowing like it should. So, as you all remember, I recognize many of you in this room that did come out on the scene that fateful day on February 20th. On the morning of February 20th, 2025, deputies with the Carroll County Sheriff's Office responded to a tragic scene at 1531 Carrollton Tyus Road. They discovered the bodies of James Brock, 45, and Kristen Brock, 41, both deceased from apparent gunshot wounds. From the very moment the 911 call was received, a relentless investigation began, one that would span months, consume thousands of man-hours, and require the full weight of the local and federal law enforcement agency partnerships. Today, we can confirm that an arrest has been made in the case. Kristen Brock's 17-year-old daughter, Sarah Grace Patrick, has been taken into custody and charged with 2 counts of murder and 2 counts of aggravated assault in connection with the deaths of her mother and her stepfather. While the case has not remained in the public spotlight in recent months, the investigation has never gone silent. Led by investigator TJ Repetto, our team has pursued every lead, sifted through mountains of physical and digital evidence, conducted countless interviews, and collaborated with agencies such as the FBI, the GBI Crime Lab, and private forensic laboratories. In a world where television portrays crimes being solved in under an hour, the truth here is much more complex. Real justice takes time. Time to ensure that no detail is overlooked and no stone is not turned over. Sheriff Terry Langley, alongside Captain Guy Pope and Lieutenant Jackson Lawrence, has remained committed to ensuring that justice is served in this heartbreaking case. Their leadership, combined with the tireless dedication of our investigators, has brought us to this point today. We know the public has been eager for answers, and we want to be clear. So have we. But bringing forth the truth responsibly and thoroughly is our highest obligation. We are proud of the unwavering commitment shown by every member of the Carroll County Sheriff's Office, and we stand behind the process that has led us here today. Our prayers remain with the families of James and Kristen Brock, and especially with their young daughter who was home during this horrific crime. We also want to extend our heartfelt thanks to the community that has rallied for justice and has never given up hope. The pursuit of justice does not end today, however. It is very possible, because this remains an open and ongoing investigation, that more arrests and charges could be made. So with that, I will open this up to questions.
Has she been charged as an adult?
She has.
And any idea what her motive was? Has she made a confession?
We are still working with her diligently. Our investigators have been speaking with her.
It is correct that she was the one who made the 911 call, correct?
Yes.
At what point did investigators begin to focus on her as the suspect?
So I believe in the beginning of any case, everyone's a suspect. I think I told many of you that when we were on scene that day. However, as an investigation continues and everything ebbs and flows, like I said in my press release, mountains of evidence has gotten us through here today. Lots of processing, lots of working with our law enforcement partners to get us to where we are today that honed in on her as a suspect.
Do you believe that she tried to cover this up in any way over the course of these months? You know, we've even seen videos on social media of somebody saying, you know, I'm making this message on behalf of the daughter. Do you believe she tried to get people to cover up anything?
Considering that she didn't just immediately tell us what happened, yes. But who knows what's going on in a young person's mind like that. But she has been arrested and charged now, and we feel confident that she is responsible for their murders. But like I said, it is an open, ongoing investigation. It's very possible others are involved as well.
What was the key break in the case?
Just evidence, being able to go through evidence, being able to use private laboratories, being able to use GBI Crime Lab. You know, when you're processing stuff, like I said, it doesn't come back in an hour. So we've been filtering through, and there's still evidence left to process.
You noted the digital evidence. I assume that's text messages, emails. Was there some type of a trail that led you that way?
There's always a lot of evidence. I won't go into exactly what it is because it is an open, ongoing investigation, but we have mountains of evidence.
What about the social media, her TikTok, that type of stuff? Any of that going to be used?
That will be up to the prosecuting attorney, and they'll work diligently with our investigators to make the case go forward towards trial or whatever they decide to do.
Was that the youngest child that found them?
I believe that, and you speak to this, Kim, the smallest daughter found them that morning, correct? And then she came and told Sarah, and then Sarah made the 911 call.
Where was Sarah?
Sarah was in the home.
No, I mean, in the interim. Where was she staying? Who was she living with?
She's 17. She's kind of been out on her own.
Was she out on her own at the time?
No, she lived at home with her mother and stepfather at that time. But since then, she's lived with different family members and kind of moved all over the place.
Did she turn herself in?
Yes, she did turn herself in this morning.
Do you believe that any of the other family members knew about this?
Hard to tell. I can say this, that everybody that we have talked to through the course of the investigation that are family members have been nothing but cooperative. Anything else?
Did you do anything after the murder during the investigation that you guys will use in your...
Like I said, we're still kind of putting all the pieces of the puzzle together, but I can tell you what led us here today, and that's the evidence that Sarah killed her parents.
Did she say why she turned herself in?
She turned herself in because we notified her she had warrants for her arrest.
Did she have any previous charges, any previous calls to that house regarding
Not that I'm aware of, not regarding her, not that I'm aware of.
Did she seem remorseful?
I have not been personally with her or interviewed her, so I could not answer that question.
I mean, though this is shocking to her family as well, did you get any kind of, were they shocked as well, surprising?
Like I said, her family's been very cooperative. I can't imagine as a parent her father brought her up here this morning, she turned herself in. I can't imagine what he's going through, so my heart goes out to him as well.
You talked about the family. I know they've been trying their best to keep this in the forefront.
Yes.
I know you guys are working behind the scenes.
Yes.
I guess it takes, especially for a case this big, it takes a lot of time to make sure the I's are dotted, the T's are crossed. I mean, would you speak to that? Because they've been seeming like on social media that they were frustrated, but it takes a lot to make
and we understand. I mean, if you don't work in the law enforcement field, like I said, CSI's kind of tainted us where, hey, something happens, it's done in an hour. This is not the case. I mean, and not only that, don't you want the right person arrested? So that's why it takes so long. These diligent investigators took their time. We've got the person that we believe orchestrated this and committed this horrific crime, and that was played through the part of evidence, and that's not something that's processed overnight.
Do you know where the weapon was obtained from?
I can't speak to that right now. Still investigation. Say that again?
The younger child, how old is she?
She is 6 years old now.
Who has custody of her?
She's staying with family.
You speak to like just how heinous this is.
It's absolutely a shock to our community. Carroll County is a great community. We very rarely have stranger on stranger crime here, so I would like to say that we're not a dangerous community. I know that the Tice community that this happened in, those neighbors were really up in arms, as they should have been. Like I said, this has been a process to get us to where we're at today, but we don't know what goes through the mind of a child who wants to harm their parents. So that I can't answer right now, but it is a very horrific and sad case.
Was there any evidence of any type of, I don't want to say abuse, but challenges in the home?
Still an ongoing investigation.
Then for anybody, who worked on this case, I don't know if there's ever been any other case like this in any of your careers, or if this is one of the few, but just when the facts, as you say, lead you to this conclusion, is it difficult, or what is that like just as a human, kind of when you follow the facts?
Anytime you work a case where somebody's life has been cut short, James is a special case because I believe, according to his family, he had a lot of heart trouble. He'd had numerous heart surgeries. I believe he may have been waiting on a heart transplant at some point. And to have his life cut short when he was given so many opportunities to live, to me, that's a big takeaway from this story, and that a mother and a stepfather will never be able to raise their children and the little girl that was in the home. To me, she's probably the saddest victim in all of this.
You did mention she didn't turn herself in. You said she was turned in with her father.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes. Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. I'll be around after if you have any additional questions. I will send you, if you will give me a business card, I'll be happy to provide you with my press release and the mugshot. Just let me know if there's anything additional after this that you may need. Okay, thank you for your time. I appreciate you coming out.
I've put in several public records requests. Even though this case remains an active and ongoing investigation, and additional arrests are possible as new evidence comes to light. Anyone with information is still encouraged to come forward. Hebrews chapter 13, verses 20 through 21. Now may the God of peace, the source of serenity and spiritual well-being, who brought up from the dead our Lord Jesus, the great shepherd of the sheep, through the blood that sealed and ratified the eternal covenant, equip you with every good thing to carry out his will and strengthen you, making you complete and perfect as you ought to be, accomplishing in us that which is pleasing in his sight, through Jesus Christ, to whom be the glory forever and ever. Amen.